Andarki Namaskaram. Namaskaram everyone. Welcome to CLTV PODCAST. This is audio podcast which I have recorded in Jagjeet Dewan G's office. He's a fantastic person and I've learned a lot. I'm sure you'll also learn along with me today. Please subscribe, share and comment your opinion on the content. Thank you. We have Jagjeet here today. He's tax and accounting professional running his own practice from GTA in Ontario called Indify. He'll be sharing with us his story of setting up a business, why he did so and how, as well as providing us different perspective of new immigrants looking to set up a small business. And lastly, common mistakes he has seen small business owners make when navigating through their finances. So now I'm turning it over to Jagjeet ji. Jagjeet ji, thank you for being here with us today. Really, I appreciate you for taking time out on this weekend and you're gonna take us through the roller coaster ride of finance. Jagjeet ji, mic is yours.
Thank you for having me, Shashank, and thank you for the nice introduction. It's my pleasure to be here. I'm looking forward to sharing my experience and helping listeners if I can.
Wonderful. All right, let's jump straight to the point. What made you want to start your own practice, especially being new to Canada and having to deal with challenges that already come with that? And also, how did you go about starting your practice at all?
My background was accounting and finance even before I came, so I wished to continue in the same field. On top of that, there was prospects in Canada that I was aware of. So I found jobs at couple of accounting firms initially, which gave me some stability. And there are a lot of learning about Canadian tax system too, tax and other like atmosphere, what's going on in here. But the place that was missing personally for me was freedom. Freedom and how I provide value to my clients, which was with honesty and meaning. Although I could provide these values in those jobs, I was limiting after a certain point. Because when you're doing a job with someone, so you have to take care of the certain deadlines and certain responsibilities. But I was not feeling comfortable in those line items. So I wanted ownership of whole process, end-to-end management of the services provided to the clients. And I knew as a tax professional, there is a tax saving benefit to it. After making the decision, I started developing a business plan, clientele, as well as a financial plan for my own business. The transition was definitely just challenging. But the biggest learning to share with our listeners today is that the drive towards that I was doing was very helpful. I was very focused that I have to do this. So all along, ambition was needed for me to keep going. That was my intake at that particular point of time when I started my own business.
Wow, beautiful. And thank you so much for sharing that, JG. The points which you mentioned are so great. Running a small business successfully requires ambition. And that is much an important piece that can be overlooked sometimes when making decision to start one in the very first place. That's amazing. Thank you. All right. So what types of small businesses do you work with and what are the biggest challenges you see in those businesses? Basically what I'm trying to understand is what are the types of businesses you work with and what are the challenges which those businesses are facing in today's market?
Sure. Before going into the industry I work with, it is worthwhile to define the small business here in Canada, as there is a wide range. Small businesses are any that have less than $10 million turnover in a year and up to 100 employees or less than 100 employees. Those are considered as small businesses. The small businesses have tax advantages and so many other things that government consider them as a small business. So, but my clients includes retail businesses such as restaurants and convenience stores and some wholesalers who imports or export, who do the imports and exports, service industries like lawyers, IT professionals like you, and medical professionals, dentists, and transport companies, and some not for profit organization. I am working with couple of churches and one temple too. So that's the thing. That's the thing I work for my those kind of clients. And biggest challenge the owners facing is lack of knowledge and negligence over the tax accounting side of the business, because they have to run their business. They have to like concentrate on the operations. But I can understand it is not easy as a small business owner or operator. There is a lot to do. But this negligence can cause many problems. I can give like 3 points over here. Point A, penalties to the government, because a government can impose a penalty if you are not filing your taxes on time or paying taxes on time or filing your returns on time.
Yeah.
B, lost opportunity to save and grow your money because of poor tax planning or the record keeping. Because it is very important you keep the records and everything, because it creates a thing that you are planning everything properly and you are satisfying government authorities too. Because without proper bookkeeping or record keeping, you may not analyze your data. So that comes to the lost opportunity, because if you are not analyzing your performance of the business, it means you are losing some opportunities here and there, because you have no idea how my business is growing or downsizing or whatever. And C, that's the poor decision making. Poor decision making means if you are just looking at someone else, okay, that guy is doing this, I can also do this. So sometimes it is maybe the lack of expertise you have.
Yeah.
So you don't know where you are going and where he is going. Just following anyone, it's not making any sense for you at your own business. So sometimes it works, but most of the time it does not. So it is better to have inside idea of your business. So that's why you can have better opportunity to kick on. So that's the way the business should be. Also, I see owners thinking they can do all of things at their own, but in practically, I can say it is not possible. It is not possible because they are always concentrating on the operation side, and they are going under stress that I have to do this, I have to do this. So it is better to have proper management of the business with the professional who can run behind you and support you wherever you want to have that particular professional or consultant. So, but they can often come to realize this field is very vast, more vast than they expected when they actually come into the business, because initially they don't know, they only look at the outside picture. When they come inside, it requires a lot more time to do all on your own if you're doing everything at your own. So because you get disturbed, your family get disturbed, your like all the colleagues get disturbed, because you are just doing everything and you are doing everything as single man army. But sometimes the appropriate place for appropriate person is has to be there to have your business functioning and you're giving a results whatever you are looking for. And changes are high, that important pieces are missed, then you may be having losses in the business, and that may you may any small business owner may not like it, because small business means you are having limited funds too. So everything becomes like on the funds. So then it looks like you have to have someone who is supporting you on the back end to run your business smoothly and giving better results.
Beautiful, Jagjeet ji. I mean, I can personally, relate to it, as well as most of the people who are going to listen to this would also feel the same. That's amazing. But having said that, you in the previous conversation you mentioned that there are advantages for business owners. Why are there? Why? What are these advantages? I mean, not what, but like why are there? Why are they existing in the very first place?
Because the government always encourages the businesses. Why? They give a tax advantage. Why? Because these are the backbones to the economy of the any of the country. So what they do, because when they encourage small businesses, they will give more employment in the country. They are helping to grow the economy, and they basically support indirectly to the government to have like creating a more opportunities in their economy or their country. So that's why these advantages are available to small business. Although every even small business owners or any other person, they all contribute to the economy. But as an owner or small business owner, they are looking for more advantages because they are supporting the economy directly or indirectly, because they have employment. They employ people to run their business.
Yeah, makes sense, because the small business are the one who are employing people and create the create the I mean, basically they create this dynamic flow of financial movement.
Yes, that's correct.
That's amazing. All right, so okay, that brings me to my next question, Jagjeet ji. Could you please briefly touch on specific solutions that small business, specifically like small business owners, can benefit from, as well as where do you fit these solutions?
Of course, as I mentioned to you so many times that you have to file taxes on time and this timely filings and everything. So for those filings or payments, I always ask you the records. So that's because that help. Well, what accountant does that, if you are providing information and sharing information, so they can give you more tax effective inputs. Tax planning you can do upfront. So this I'm going this way. So if your accountants giving you a more support on that side, you will have more inside idea about that. And they requires many of the inputs from you to assess your financial activities of your business from a high level, and finding the most optimized way to meet your tax obligation, and thus saving you a lot of money. So if you are doing everything after the event, then certain areas you can miss. And that is how the accountant says ongoing record keeping. I know it can be tedious to the account for all the things that are giving on or in the your business, but sometimes it gives you a good result too. But good and timely record keeping is so important to monitor your finances. You identify which areas of the business you are growing with the good record keeping, which areas you may be losing on, as well as how to maximize your returns and ensure that your business is still liquid. So that's the way accountants helps to the business owners, like I am helping you. So same way, the same thing applicable to everywhere for the small business.
Yeah.
So they have to have on the top of everything to know about inside of their business. The point here is that your accountant is likely bugging you for valid reasons.
Yes, you do.
And good financial health is truly an investment for yourself and your business.
Yeah, that was a bad joke. Which
Yeah. On top of these solutions, there are other components that are often not urgent on paper, but essential for your business,
Yeah.
thus neglected. So if negligence is there, so you are losing something. But these ones are not always something an accountant may bug you about. Sometimes you have to be upfront coming out that, okay, I'm doing this, what to do or what to not to do. So that's the way. I really don't want to join my client and their small business generally, whether it be consulting them regarding my big major decisions, my big major business decisions they are making, or reminding them of things they may not have thought of, such as the security of their business in case of uncertainty.
Mhm.
I will literally call my client up and remind to start considering the succession and estate planning of their businesses. What if something happens?
Estate planning.
Yeah,
Okay.
estate planning, succession planning. If something happens,
Okay. Okay.
so what happens to your business? I am happy to fight there right by their side. I have solutions. Those people are working in my team. Those can give you solutions how to have the estate planning in place or succession planning in place
Mm.
if something happens to the business. If these there are aspects of the business that I can help you with. There is a roster of resources I have in my network that I can connect with to guide through them, so they can have everything in place for you. That okay, so this thing, as per nature of your business, you have to have this. As per whatever succession planning you have, how it is tax effectively you can do. So that's the thing we can also help you.
Wow, beautiful. That's that's very important points what you have said, Jagjeet ji. Having said that, let's say uh, I'm curious to understand or to learn about interesting circumstances you have seen small business owners like me, and we fall into, like, basically what are some interesting circumstances you've seen with small business owners, or perhaps a story or two. I mean, would you want to share?
Yeah, of course. I can share a couple of stories because I have a client who did not file the taxes for his business for 12 years in a
Wow.
row, and the CRA and tax authorities were behind him, and they frozen up their bank accounts. He was not able to deposit any money, pull out the money for his use. Everything was like, because he was not aware that what's going to happen. He is not filing the taxes or paying the taxes. Because sometimes tax authorities, what they do, they just estimate the taxes and ask the money and take out the money from the bank.
Wow.
So
They do that?
yeah, they can do, because they have the power. Even you are not replying to their notices and not doing anything whatever required for. So he approached me and I helped him, and I talked to the authorities that okay, this was the situation he was not aware of. There were some family circumstances, so they tax authorities were very cooperative, and they are saying okay, just do whatever you can and do as early as possible. So we started filing from the like all the 12 years in 2 years tax filing, because he was able to provide the records like that, because he was to dig out the information.
Yeah.
So finally we got rid of everything, and he was happy that his bank accounts were
Unfrozen.
unfrozen, and he was able to run the business. And another story I have, that one of the client was running here and there because of the separation between his and his spouse.
Oh, okay.
So he was thinking that if I am not filed the taxes, so I can escape, because his wife was go behind him to share the finances, and she how much.
You mean for the aluminium?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay.
So that's why he was not filing taxes.
Uh-huh.
So he approached me and asked me advice. So I asked him, it is not the way you can escape, because you have to file the taxes. So finally, when the picture came in front, so he was actually earning less than his wife.
Oh.
So he was very happy that you like told me everything in the right way. So he actually, then his wife lost the case in the family court, because she was not able to make it that he has no so much money. So
I don't know if I have to say this is a good thing or bad thing, but it's certainly a weird and something interesting for sure. 12 years and a divorce case.
yeah,
I mean, basically, I can conclude that if you follow the taxing, I mean to say, submitting your taxes correctly,
yeah,
you are always in the side of, I mean, taking some advantage.
yes, because it is most important to file in time.
Correct. Because you see that individual, and I see tax authorities are very flexible, and they are helping you.
They are helping. They are very cooperative. If you are doing everything in the correct way, they are very helpful.
Of course, yeah, looks like that's fantastic.
And they waive the penalties if they see that okay, there are financial crunch was going on. They always help, and then they consider those things. They are not like that very hard that they have to like behind you and just they want to screw you. They are not like that.
Wow. And looking at that, the guy who went out and did not file taxes to avoid the aluminum amount, he filed the taxes and found out that he has saved money.
Yes, yes, because he was not supposed to pay any money.
I don't know if I have to feel happy about it or sad about it, but that's part of life. Anyways,
Yeah.
That's amazing. Cool. So Jagjeet, let's go back to like we are nearing towards the closure. So before that, I have one more question. Look, this is my last but one question though. This question is this: like basically, let's say if someone is newly immigrating into this nation, okay, and they want to start a small business, what are your suggestions for that? I mean to say like. Any advices which you want to give to the people who are considering to move to Canada and establish a small business? This is a very professional way of putting it. So help me out with that.
Nowadays, the people are coming in Canada with the startup visa program. Government is encouraging to come more business and settle down here. So my advice, there is a lot to consider for someone in that situation. You are not only planning to immigrate to a new country, but also you see yourself starting a small business down the road. So what you have to consider the geographically location in the Canada, because you should not be thinking my family or my friend or my known persons are living in that particular area, so I should go there. Not about. You have to do your homework. You have to do research. What kind of business you are going to operate? So in which location, on which geographical area you have to go. Now, lot of provinces are encouraging people to come over there and settle there and have more, generate more employment and give boost to their economy. So it is your duty or someone who is planning to come to Canada to do some homework, hit the geographical location that this is appropriate for me. Because I remember, I know one person who just came with the immigration consultancy and this with the family, friends and relatives that, okay, just come over here in Canada, settle down here. And he just applied for the startup program and he moved blindly to the British Columbia. And he found out there that nothing to do for him over there, because most of the farming businesses are there and he was not aware of.
Oh,
So now he stuck over there because he came to Ontario and researching here and there what should it. So he found that in Ontario he has more opportunity than the British Columbia.
oh, okay.
So now he was very stuck because his visa was like that. He cannot go outside of the British Columbia. So he has to settle down over there. So this situation is very, very tricky for him.
Sorry to interrupt you. Startup visas are province specific?
Yes, it is province specific because province nominates your business to you to work over there and live over there and settle down over here. So it varies on case to case basis. It is not necessary that Ontario is not good for everyone. Maybe British Columbia or Nova Scotia or New Brunswick.
Yeah, because let's say if you go to up north, we have a lot of timber business.
Yes. So it depends upon the nature of business you are going to settle and how province is liking your project for that.
Oh, yes.
So that's the way the business should be looking at. Even you are coming on employment, you should think that down the road, if I'm going to start my own business, which province is good for me. So that is the thing you have to always consider before you apply for that. Because I can see everything is not common in every situation that you have to consider the location. You are not like considering my family is there, my relatives are there, so just blindly I'm going there. So that will not work for everyone. So typically, one would think, okay, I'm moving to Canada. Where in Canada do I see the most employment and education opportunities for myself and my family? Because you are coming with family and you are coming here by leaving everything on the back home.
Yeah.
So the finances and most of the things are being considered when someone is moving here. But the most important, I think, the geographical location should be considered. Where should someone has to settle down? So, for example, if someone is coming in Canada to work as a farming business, so he should consider Saskatchewan, where the farming business is growing, and British Columbia, there are so many farmhouses. So that is the opportunity. Seeing the opportunity is the most important, because where you can grow fast and settle down very easily and according to your interest. So if you are going out of your interest, then it is very hard. So better than I will suggest, rather than considering the location after you immigrate and then decide to start a small business, I would consider that now, not after reaching over here. So at least you have an idea, where should I go? Accordingly, you can plan your project or whatever you're submitting program to your this immigration authorities before you move. So it can bother you and your family if you are going in the wrong direction.
Correct. Yeah.
So it is not that because once you are landing over in British Columbia and family settling down over there, and suddenly you say it is not good.
Yeah, we cannot uplift everything.
Yes,
And then
so
go to some other
so
province.
it is being like may drop the path towards starting the small business. So if you are not at the right place, so that's what I think, because they should be considering this thing very, very, very keenly and very, very deeply before they, because everywhere is money involved. If you are putting money somewhere where you're not
Correct. So
getting
we'll all that. All right. So if I'm, let's say, if I'm a new immigrant coming freshly into the Canada
yeah,
on a startup visa, I have to ensure point one, what is the business I'm doing? I should be knowing it first.
yeah,
And for that, I have to understand the data. I mean, probably I might have to go through the data available province-wise
yes,
and find out this business suits in which province.
yes,
For example, let's say a restaurant. Where does it fit well?
yes,
I have to see what are the other restaurants and
Yeah.
what is the type of restaurants. I can go
Yeah.
with Hakka Chinese, I can go with the
Yes.
Indian, I can go with Pakistani cuisine, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So all that I have to do is to do thorough research and understand the circumstance and then put feet into it.
yeah,
Wow, that's very interesting, and I'm sure people who are serious would do it.
yes.
People who just want to get in one or the other way, maybe they might miss this point. But yeah, that's really interesting.
I am happy. Sometimes I get calls from back from India or sometimes from US, sometimes from different countries that through my referrals they refer me and they call me. Okay, we are planning to do this thing. So where should we go? How should we go? So that way I'm always advising them in the according to the situation. Okay, go this way. So they I know that those people are very, very interested to come to Canada to do their business, but they are now doing this upfront because
That has to be done, right?
yes, yes,
To make sure that they are successful as well as the business is successful. In that sense, the nation will become successful.
yes. Everything is like interrelated with each other.
Correct.
Yeah.
Amazing. Wow. All right. So I was actually trying to cater everyone here. So one thing which I want to bring out here before we go to this could be the last question. I mean, maybe I'll ask a few more questions as it follows. But then yeah. So the question is this. So what are your recommendations? What are your suggestions for individual taxations? Let's say who is an employee, who doesn't own a business,
Yeah.
who is a full-time employee, or a student for that matter. So what are your suggestions for that as a tax consultant?
Uh, for the individuals, I always suggest, even you are new to country, because some people think that we are not supposed to file taxes because we are not earning anything, like students or any other persons. Like some like parents are coming, so they don't have any income. They are only like coming as a sponsor because people sponsor here the parents to come and live with them, with the family. So they most of the time they think that we don't have any income, why to file the taxes? Like in the back home in India, government always encourages that if you don't have any income, don't file. If you don't have taxable income, not file. But here the government encourages to file the taxes even you don't have any income or low income, whatever, because after filing they become eligible for certain benefits or credits what the government gives to the low income families or those are not having any income, because if they file the taxes they become eligible, and those benefits and credits are tax free, and those are if you are having that benefits it is not taxable to you. So even this is a support from the government to the low income families. So that's the why here the people are encouraged to file their taxes every year to keep getting those benefits or credits on continued basis. So that's the big difference because people don't know about this. they think that, okay, we are student, why to file taxes?
Mm.
But they should be filing, because they will get their tuition credits accumulated. So that's the way they can use at the later point of time when they become earners or got a job. So same way, like self-employed individuals, they have different opportunities. They have, if they file taxes and because some people is thinking that there may be no benefit for the self-employed persons, but self-employed persons are also contributing to the
Yeah,
economy.
what is self-employed person?
Because self-employed persons like real estate agent,
Okay.
or like those are not having the small businesses, but they actually doing the business.
Oh,
Yeah, so
okay.
those are the self-employed persons.
Oh, I didn't ask you this question, so
Yeah.
very quickly,
Yeah,
because I was in a perception that they are also business owners.
they own the business, but in the different way, because
Okay.
business owners work in two styles.
Okay.
Whereas self-employed, they don't have any corporation,
Okay.
like incorporation. So incorporation are the small business owners, and these are the small business. Some people, if you know that, doing the catering business, working from home. So those are the self-employed persons. So they also also have to file the taxes, because even they are low income earners. So at least,
So sorry to interrupt you, and this is an interesting question for me.
yeah,
As I said, more questions gonna come. So self-employed people, let's say if I'm someone who does a dry fruit business.
Yeah.
Not business. How should I say? Let's say if I make sweet sort of dry fruits.
yeah,
Okay, and I sell them in the market, and I also collect HST, GST, and
Yeah.
through a proper channel.
Yeah.
So I'm considered as a business or a self-employed.
As a self-employed, if you are not incorporated,
Okay, so that the taxes would be still considered as a individual tax.
individual tax. Yes.
Okay.
Because you can put all the expenses and sales and purchases, everything like a business, but it will be taxed as a individual tax rate, not a corporate tax rate. So both tax rates are different. So that is a very like vast knowledge you have to take it.
Okay.
So because that,
Yeah, I just wanted to get
Yeah, yeah.
get a glimpse of it, but yeah, that kind of clarifies these things. Wow, thank you. You so the amount of knowledge you have given me today and through me to my listeners in CLTV podcast is amazing, because I try to cover all of the things, but eventually when you have more time, when
Yeah.
we coordinate and
Yeah.
focus on one particular thing, because
Yes.
the idea of individual taxes, I mean, I didn't, sorry, I meant to say self-employed taxes and business owner taxes. And I always thought both are same, but today it's a different thing.
Yeah.
I might have to sit with you again
Yeah.
to understand this and also
Definitely.
help others
Yeah.
who are listening. Could you please shed some light as to what services, your business, like, I mean, specifically Indify provides?
I would like to say that at Indify Solutions Limited, we provide services to the individual for their tax filing, their tax planning, little bit retirement planning, and so on. So basically, what the individual needs, that he or she needs to file a tax as mandatory in Canada, and that's what we came in the picture to help them. And for the small businesses, we provide services since the start of the business, like settling up a business, doing registration with tax authorities, with business registries, and then going forward, payroll services, sales tax filing, GST, HST filing, and corporation tax filing, and also their finance planning too, up to the extent they need. And we are based out at GTA in Ontario, and we serve small businesses and individuals in Canada. Currently, clients from Ontario, British Columbia, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and Alberta. And some of the US based companies are also running companies over here, operating their businesses over. So they need to file their taxes with the Canadian authorities. So I have some of the clients, those are actually US based, but they are doing business here, so they have to file here. So I am helping them too. And our team at our Indify Solutions Limited speaks English, Hindi, and Punjabi as well, as per the comfort of the client. So that's what we do, all of our clients.
Wonderful. I hope you're gonna employ Telugu or Tamil speaking people going forward.
Hopefully, yes. Hopefully, yes.
Amazing, amazing. And I'm going to share your contact information, and I'm going to share your profile from BizDirect for you, for others to reach out. And I'm sure if they have any questions, they will reach out to you.
Sure, sure. Thanks for having me today, and I enjoyed being here, and hope I was able to help whatever you're looking for. So best
Yeah.
way to reach me would be my email, indifysolutions@gmail.com, the website www.indifysolutions.ca. Thanks for having me today.